With the composing process with you, do you just know what the client wants, or do you have to figure out your own idea?
Well, everybody's different. Every project is different. And I think after a lot of years of doing this, I do have a sense of what people want. And it's really hard to talk about music for most people. Most people, they can temp it. They can say, well, this is my favorite band, and this is my favorite band, and I like this score from this movie. We want it to sound like John Williams, but we've only got, $5,000. So,
Yeah.
okay, well, that'll pay for the cello section's cartage to bring their instruments to the studio, right, on the day. We're going to have to cut some corners, but we can still do something that's appropriate. I try to go quick and not try to overanalyze, like a lot of Americans do tend to, like to form committees and overanalyze stuff, and let's analyze it into the toilet, and then, they say what a mule is a horse designed by a committee, so I try not to let that inner editor, you try to do the writing first, get the ideas, and then edit it, my thought process later. So I get a vibe for it, whether it's from a picture, from a script. Love to read the script. In the game world, a lot of times they'll have what they call a build, which is an early level of the game that you can actually see and play a little bit of it.
That's cool.
Sometimes just an animatic, sometimes I'll only have sketches or some artwork to do and go, that's what we want. And okay. And I'll have to get a vibe. So I generally go on instinct. Some people are very specific, and then I have to educate them about copyright and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you hear a lot of jingles and stuff on the air, and you go, man, that's that other song, and they've just written some new words for it, and because of the size of the market, it's very small. They didn't get permission, and I have to say, look, your rear end is really hanging out the window right now legally, because copyright is, an important thing. There are laws about it. You need to get permission to use it. I know people are pretty free and easy with copyright these days, but that's really what a lot of artists, certainly singers, musicians, songwriters, script writers, actors depend on some kind of royalty participation on the backside to really make it worth their while as a business. If that's gone, then we're all turned into hobbyists, really. So it's not an evil thing, and I have to educate a lot of clients and say, look, we can come close to that. We can use that as an influence, but we can't just write new words to it. Or we can't.
Exactly.
There's myths like, oh, if you only use 4 bars of it, then you're okay. No, that's a complete myth. And again, you're leaving yourself open for legal action. So just a lot of the stuff I have to do is sort of just education and go, I just need to explain this to you. Let's write something totally brand new for your project. Let's try to come up with, that's
be original. Yeah.
Let's be original. We can have some influences. There's only 12 notes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that, there really is. There's always going to be influences, but let's really try to come up with something both melodically, just vibe-wise, rhythmically, arrangement-wise, that's unique to your project. And that's part of my job. I explain to people, again, because I don't have a degree in composition, a formal degree, but I basically think of myself as an independent contractor, and I build music. I will build some music for your computer game, for your television show, or your movie, or your website, or your live performance thing, whatever you're doing. And this is how much time it's going to take, and this is what I'll charge. It'll be reasonable, but I got a kid. I can't do it for free. I've done the do it for experience thing, and that is a great thing to do. Can help you build your portfolio and all that. I still do. There's certain things I will do when I really, really believe in a project and someone is really scraping to get it together. I've done trailers for people that I thought, man, this movie should get made. Movie trailers, actually, and both of them from this Gold Coast Film and Television Networking night. People that I met and said, you need to make this. So I'll do the music for your trailer. Don't worry about it. We'll just hopefully think about me if it comes around and it works out. This newest game that I've been working on was, again, kind of an accident. But I put some feelers out to independent game developers.
And that's become pretty huge now.
It's an amazing game, yeah. And my daughter's playing it on the iPhone. Yeah. She, I have to say 15 minutes. That's it. But it's come out on iPhone. It came out on Xbox and PlayStation last year, and started on PC on Steam, which is the game portal. Great great site. And there's another amazing guy, the developer, small independent team in Indiana. And we just met on a forum, on an independent game developers forum. And he said, I need some music. I said, well, send me what you have, send me a build, and he did, and some pictures. And I said, okay. Again, my first thoughts were 8-bit chiptune. It's a nod to the 80s because it's two-dimensional. It's 2D and very pixelated, so we've got to at least go, some of that stuff's got to come out. And at the same time, it creates a big world. Every time you go in, you're creating a world. You can check small world, medium world, or huge world. And
did you enjoy the end product of what your music matched with the game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The times that I've played it, it seems to be appropriate. And from the first thing, he said, I love it. Can I get more? I've got this area of the game and this area of the game, and I just kept sending it. He hardly ever asked for any revisions, which is amazing. And seems to be happy. So it just, but it's funny when something like that, you don't know. But I had a feeling I should do it. I had a feeling, well, this is something I should do.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of money to do it at first, but it's it's been definitely worth it to do.
It's something to be proud of. It's really it's great.
Kids play. Yeah. Like some of the guys I play with, one of my bands has teenage sons, and they're like, Terraria, really? You did the music? And I go, yeah. My little project studio. So, got to reach out.
So do you have anything that you're working on now, or do you have anything lined up?
No, I'm still. No, actually, no. I have some production projects. I do function as a producer. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Some local artists that I help them produce their EPs or their
And has that
CDs
got to do with your company, Resonance Array?
That's my little proprietary limited. And I started it because, in my experience, there's some filmmaking or game teams or television teams function as people. They like to deal with a person.
Yeah.
And there are other people who are more sort of hive-minded and corporate, and they prefer to deal with an entity. They don't, the person works for this entity. So besides for tax reasons, but also, but I also said, well, let's come up with something that's sort of obscure, but vaguely relates to music. I think of Resonance Array, it's resonation music. So it's really. Yeah, it's really a one-man shop. I'll get more people involved when I need stuff, but hardly ever. I do have subcontracted occasionally composing work when I just have too much on my plate.
Have you had many clients?
Yeah. And always looking for more game stuff to do.
Do you prefer game, film, or TV?
It's all good.